This one is for all my kings and brothers out there who are still on the journey of looking for their queen. Guys, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you're a younger dude in your teens or your 20s, in your late 20s, early 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It really doesn't matter where you're at. The point is, we can be in all those places and not have our queen. And not having found our queen yet and the person we're going to share our life with can be a frustrating thing to feel. If you're young, it's frustrating because, you don't have the skills or the confidence or the resources and you haven't frankly done it enough yet. You haven't asked enough girls out yet. You haven't talked to enough women. You haven't put yourself out there enough yet. And that's a learning curve in its own, hero's journey, so to speak. If you're in your mid 20s, 30s, you got a good job, you got your shit together, it's frustrating because you probably feel like you got your shit together. Maybe your friends are all getting married. I fall into that category, by the way. Most of my friends are literally getting married or engaged right now. Some of them are even having kids. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, whoa, what happened? Like, why? Where's my queen yet? I figure I'm 32. I figured she would be here by now. And it's not like there hasn't been relationships, guys. There's been women, just not the right woman, There's been some relationships, there's been some flings, some casual hookups in my younger years. Not gonna lie, I don't partake in that behavior anymore. But point being, I'm still on the path. I'm still looking, I'm still growing. And you could be in your 40s and be here, you could be in your 50s and be here, and you could be in your 60s and still be here. And you know what the great part is, guys? There's literally no time limit. Being a man, it's not like you're a woman. A woman, if she wants kids, she's got to get that shit together early. She's got to pick a suitable partner, someone who's good, that's not going to divorce her so she can have babies and have a happy family, because they don't get that long. They get like what, 20s, 30s, probably not 40s, but you could push it into the 40s. But men, we can have children whenever. So if you want children, you can literally have them whenever. And if you're tripping out because you want to be young and have your children, just calm down. Take care of yourself. It'll be fine. So the good thing about being a man is you can figure this part out of your life whenever, guys. And I think it's very important that we remind ourselves that we need to figure everything else first. Women, a life partner, a queen, that is a supplement to a already good life. I don't remember who said it. I think it was like back in my 20s, someone said like, yeah, girls are like protein shakes, a supplement to an already good life. And that always holds true. And I'm honestly guilty of forgetting that sometimes, because sometimes I do get wrapped up in the motion. I'm this brawny, tattooed, buff dude, 6'4", and I grew up with Disney movies, guys. I grew up with the Disney paradigm, the happily ever after, the stories we were raised as kids. And as a result, that has been like in the back of my mind. Like, I want the relationship. I want to get married. I want to have a thriving relationship with a partner one day, maybe even a few kids. Hey, anything can go. And there are these moments when I like look back and I'm like, whoa, how has that not happened yet? There's been relationships, there's been girls. I'm sure you've been in relationships, you've been with girls, you've been on dates, and you know how frustrating it can be waiting for the partner, your one partner, when you are at a point where you feel like you're ready. Or if you're younger, guys, maybe you haven't even had a girlfriend yet. Maybe you haven't even dated and been with anybody yet. And that's frustrating too. And that's just part of your hero's journey, guys. When you're in your younger years, you got to get the basics together. You got to start working on your habits, go to the gym, start actually putting yourself out there, approaching girls, get your self-esteem boosted by practicing trial and error. Like, we like to think that we can go out and just approach a girl and that's it. It's in the bag. It doesn't work like that, guys. In reality, building up the social skills and the confidence to actually go up and talk to a woman and ask her out on a date or whatever, that is literally having your ego put on blast 100 times and like 100 awkward social interactions because you don't know what to do. Like, if you're like me, like I was a very socially awkward young boy. When I was 15, my self-esteem was so low that I couldn't talk to pretty girls because obviously they were pretty. But I also couldn't talk to unattractive girls because I would be paranoid. Like, what are people going to think if I'm talking to some like ugly girl? And like, well, I'm so glad I don't have low self-esteem like that anymore, guys. And I was a late bloomer. My first kiss was when I was 19. My first girlfriend was also 19. And then, just from there, I've grown and I've matured and I've got a lot of these things under control. My confidence is pretty good right now, but still haven't found the queen yet, you know? And that's an exciting thing to think about. And I'm going to share with you some stuff that I think about that keeps me very centered and grounded and at peace. And, the first thing, I think I already mentioned this, is that, guys, you can figure this part out literally at any point in your life. And even guys who are like really good guys sometimes don't get married until their 40s. Like, for example, guys, like everybody loves Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's charismatic, he's fun, he's uplifting, he's a cool ass freaking dude. Did you know he's been divorced and he got married to his second wife probably at like what, age 45, 46, I think is what it said. And now he's having some kids and now he's married, but he didn't figure that shit out until what, 44, 45. And it's not an issue, guys. If you take care of yourself, if you stay in the gym, if you stay on the path, if you stay focused on building up your ideal life, it really doesn't matter when it happens. And you will get to this place where you're honestly not bothered that it hasn't happened yet. I'm kind of in this place where I'm just in this constant state of growth. I'm working on myself every day, meditate every day, go to the gym every day. I am focused on this YouTube channel, trying to build up a business from scratch, trying to build up my ideal life for myself, taking care of myself. And honestly, that makes me feel pretty damn good about myself. It's kind of at the point now where it's like, I just know I'm going to meet a good person one day. Become what you want to attract. I'm working on keeping my shit together, being healthy, building my dream life, getting my core values and my vision together. So I attract someone of similar principles, guys. And that's all you need to do, guys. Like, get rid of the clock, get rid of the time frames. None of that matters. Stay on your path. If you're a younger guy, maybe you need to date around a little bit, guys. You got to get those skills somewhere. Maybe you need a few bad relationships to learn, guys. Because remember, if it isn't love, it's a lesson. And I'm going to actually segue a little bit into the red pill community, guys. Because us men, you can go one of two ways when you get your heart broken by a woman. So I've had like plenty of breakups, guys. Been cheated on, been ghosted, like you name it, I have endured it. Do I hate any of those girls? No, not at all. I'm actually at peace. And I'll tell you why. Because a real man doesn't become perturbed. A real man stays centered. King energy is being. The world happens around you, but you stay strong. You stay grounded. Part of the reason I don't drink alcohol anymore. When I drink alcohol, the filters come down, the walls fall, the emotions come out. I am no longer the best version of myself, so I do not partake. I do not drink alcohol of any kind because that's not the real me and that's not the version of me I want to come out. I keep that beast locked in a cage, guys. Locked in a cage, he ain't ever coming out. Coming back to the topic. Oh, yes, guys. Red pill breakups. When a girl hurts you and she does you wrong, it could go one of two ways, guys. You have an option. You can either take it to heart, get very emotional about it, get very sad about it, and that has the potential. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be sad after a breakup. Breakups are hard. Sometimes you gotta just sit with it. You gotta cope. You gotta let it go eventually, and you will. Like if you're going through a breakup right now, it's gonna be hard, guys. Like first couple weeks, maybe a couple months. If it's your first love, it's a hard thing to endure. But some guys take this a little too far and they go down this rabbit hole of the red pill community. And if you're in it, I'm not bashing you. But here's the thing, guys. The red pill community is so toxic. And I'm not saying there's not these women out there. Of course there is, but there's also good women too. But when you look at the world and you look at all women as toxic, that becomes the only thing you actually see. Your reticular activation system, look this up. This is the filter your brain has that tells you what information is important to you. Like, look at, like, if you're looking at your room, there's so much stimulus. Like, you can see papers on the walls, you can see scratches on the walls, there's a map there, there's carpet, all the fibers in the carpet. Like your brain cannot possibly keep up with everything that's happening at the same time. So it filters things out to tell you what's important. Well, when you go down this mindset of being toxic and hating women and all women are bad, that becomes your reality. And the only women you notice are the toxic ones, are the bad ones. And that ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy, pretty much ensuring that you will never find or meet a good one because you don't believe they exist. And if you don't believe they exist, they won't exist for you guys. So personally, probably going to trigger some people who are in the red pill community. I think a lot of those guys are just hurt. And they found this community of people who just hate women who've been hurt. And that's just what they vibe with. And, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But that energy is toxic. And it's not true masculinity, guys. True masculinity is, hey, this girl hurt me. So what? Nobody cares what anybody did to you. The only thing people care about is what are you going to do about it? All right, I've been hurt. I've been cheated on. She was bad. She broke my heart. She took my money, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter because you're a man. And you don't need her. She's not this little fantasy you had in your head, guys. Like if you cling on to that memory and it hurts because you think things were so perfect, because we always look through the past in rose-colored glasses, again, reticular activation system. We see things better than what they were, and we miss people sometimes, and we're like, damn, she was so good, I regret it. Well, guys, if it was so good, it wouldn't have ended in the first place because the right relationship isn't brittle. But every relationship that does end is a chance to teach you a lesson. Remember, guys, if it isn't love, it's a lesson. And I will tell you, from all the breakups I've had, I have always come out the other side stronger, wiser, and way better equipped in my next relationship. And that's what some people don't think. People think like, oh, let me go on a dating app and let me meet some person and, go on a couple dates. Now we're boyfriend, girlfriend, and, that's it. Game over. Wrong. That's game literally beginning. Like, the first month courting, dating, that is like extremely basic to actually maintaining a functional long-term relationship where both parties are giving to each other and growing together. Completely different story, guys. And a lot of people don't realize this, and a lot of people don't understand this. And that's why the divorce rate is so high. People don't compromise like that. People don't really know what they're getting into. And it's hard, guys, because our DNA is primal. It's hardwired to, when we meet a girl, we get infatuated. And that's why it's so hard for us men to screen out the toxic, crazy women. Because, if this hot woman's coming at you and she's hot and heavy and she's ready to go and she's validating your ego and she's making you feel good and you're like, oh, yes, let's do it. And then 6 months later, you realize like, whoa, this girl was a narcissist the whole time. She was crazy. Like she literally only cared about me those 2 weeks to love bomb me, and the sex was really hot. And then all the sex and affection stopped. But I felt like it was still going to happen because I was like, it's crazy, guys. Like that's the thing. Like it's in our genes. It's primal. We want on some level to mate with a female and to have kids. And back in primal times, it was probably a lot simpler, but now things are more complicated. We've grown. There's social media, the internet, knowledge is everywhere. Relationships are more complex than they were, I'm assuming, in primal times. Because back then, it was hunt, gather, and fuck. Hunt, gather, fuck. Like, what else would you do in the caveman era? But now it's not that simple, but those primal genes are still there. So when you start going out with a woman, you get those feelings, even though she might not actually be the right woman for you guys. And this is a lesson that I'm learning. I am working on being more disciplined when it comes to that. Like I can't go into a relationship just because the package is cute. Not anymore. And this is hard for men because it's really hard to like turn down a girl when she's looking good. Let's be real, guys. Do some stupid shit because the pussy's good. Excuse my profanity, but we do. I do it. Even me, Mr. Meditate almost every day, work out, stay in the gym, working on my mindset, my lifestyle, cultivating my masculinity. Even sometimes I got to work at it. And that's what I'm working on right now is getting better at screening women so I don't keep making these same mistakes, And like I said, I don't see any of my exes as mistakes. It is what it is. Sending them the best wishes, good vibes, no regrets, no toxicity, because I don't have room for that in my heart. I'm not about that. If they want to go, they can go. Like, I know I'm good. I know I'm going to meet someone good. That's never been the issue. And it's not even about me, dude. Sometimes girls are crazy. Sometimes they don't have their shit together. And it is what it is. You got to let it burn, guys. So if you're going through a breakup, if you're walking that fine line, you have two decisions to make. You can either get toxic about it and spiral, or you can recover and be better for it. Take it for the lesson. Don't make the same mistakes twice, and use that information moving forward, guys. There's billions of people on the planet. There's plenty of good girls out there. There's better girls out there. And sometimes if you're hung up over a girl, you don't think there's a better girl out there, but trust me, there always is a better girl out there. It just comes down to finding one that you are compatible with. And it doesn't even have to be perfect, guys. You just have to be compatible and, willing to work on it. It's literally that simple. I don't really believe in the one. I believe we've got tons of ones. There's plenty of girls I could have a successful relationship with. And, you just got to find one that fits and one that's compatible. And that's it. It's a numbers game, guys. You only have to win once. That's it. You just got to win once. It doesn't matter how many times you lose. It doesn't matter how many heartbreaks you go through. It doesn't matter how many breakups you have to endure. It doesn't matter how many times you have to pick yourself back up again. And honestly, that's what makes a man, guys. Struggle, pain, hardship. Those are the calluses that build us and make us stronger, that engulf our hearts, that ground us, that cause us to rethink our lives, to focus like, man, maybe I shouldn't be eating potato chips every day, laying in bed, numbing, porn, alcohol, weed, social media, TV. Guys, that's your wake-up call. Conquer your vices. Get to the gym. Conquer your bad habits. These things in your life that are no longer serving you, get rid of them. Build the life you want to have. Be the man you want to be, independent of the woman, because I believe the woman will come when the timing is right. And if you're out there and you're doing the work, you're in the gym, you're working on yourself, you're, going to work, you're starting a business, you're trying to not game as much, you, by the definition, just by default of working on yourself, like honestly, something as simple as going to the gym, that literally puts you ahead of most guys, because most guys are not going to the gym. Let's be real. Most guys are not going to the gym. Most people don't maintain their physiques. Most people are obese in this day and age. So if you can cultivate a little bit of discipline, it'll go a long way. And it's a stacking effect. You go to the gym, 1 year later, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to be healthier. 5 years later, still the same. 10 years, still the same. I'm 32 right now. I feel fucking great, guys. I don't feel old at all. I feel like I'm in my prime. And if you ever watched the Thor movies, Chris Hemsworth in like the first movie, all ripped and looking like, good and shit. He was like 34 when he shot that movie. And that to me just feels like the prime age for a man. So like 32 feels young to me. I feel like 34 will be my prime as long as I stay in the gym, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay working on my projects and my path, and just cultivating a deeper sense of self, guys. So guys, as I round this video out, I just want to make a reminder to you guys to don't get perturbed or frustrated on the journey of finding your queen. The only thing you can control, you can control how many times you go out, how many times you approach girls, if you're on the dating apps, whatever, but don't place too much value on that. Place the value on working on yourself. Stay in the gym, take care of your body, take care of your physique, take care of your mind, guys. Remember, we talked about mindset. Mindset is literally everything. He who says he can't and he who says he can are both usually right. And it's crazy how simple and true that is. If you don't believe you're worthy of finding a girl or having your queen, if you believe you're ugly and not rich enough, not fit enough, you'll never be good enough. This probably applies more to my younger men, young 20s, teens. You probably have a lot of these issues and these limiting beliefs, like girls only care about looks or money or status. Just buy into me when I tell you that is not true at all. And I was lucky to learn this lesson very early, that girls don't even care about looks, guys. You can be an ugly motherfucker, but if you're confident in your own skin, and it doesn't bother you, like, give me 5 seconds to talk away my ugly face. That's all it takes, guys. Like, literally, if you don't believe me, there's some ugly dudes with some really attractive girls out there. Like, what's that show? There's this really that ugly guy. It's like one of those dating shows, one of the reality dating shows, and he was dating like an actually good looking girl. She was like 24 and he was like, I don't know, like 50, and he just looked like this big blob, and he wasn't even in shape or taking care of himself, and he had a pretty solid girl for how he actually looked, guys. So looks ain't the issue, guys. It never is. It's confidence, guys. And if you need to look good and go to the gym to feel confident, then do that. But don't make that an excuse. Don't make that a limiting belief. Same thing with the money thing. Like, money, well, it doesn't hurt. It's really not necessary. And if you were with girls who only want the money, those aren't the girls you want to be with. That's not even who your queen should be, guys. Unless you're just rich and balling and don't care and just like those kinds of girls. Then hey, you know what? Do your thing. But guys, looks, money, status. I mean, I don't know. Something never really crosses my mind. But the point being, guys, you're watching this video, you're already ahead of the game. You go to the gym, you take care of yourself, you work on your habits. And I'm not even saying you can't ever have a off day or some fun. Like, I have a gaming channel. You already know, DBD Builds. That's my other alias. Sometimes I nerd out and I play games, and it's okay. I don't let it consume my life. If I haven't gone to the gym, I'm not gaming. If I haven't meditated, I'm not gaming. If I haven't taken care of my adult shit that needs to be done, I am not gaming. It's like, hey, when I have some free time, I'll do it. But even that, I turned that idle time into productive time. I started the YouTube channel. So now when I game, it's like, oh, I am actually doing something productive that now pays me since that channel is monetized. So I learned to edit videos. I learned to talk more on camera, play while I game. So it's almost like I took my nerdy, unproductive like hobby and made it something productive that is serving me, you know? So I'm not saying you can't game. I game a little bit. But don't game too much, guys. If you're gaming and not going to the gym and not taking care of your basic needs and not working on your mindset and meditation and becoming a better version of yourself, then maybe you need to stop distracting yourself and stop getting lost in the matrix. And that's a very easy thing for us to do, especially young men. We like to, and I did this too, guys. I like to numb it, play some video games, close out the world, drink a bottle of wine, smoke some marijuana, whatever, dudes. But I don't do that anymore. I don't numb the world out anymore. I don't close the world out anymore. I take everything for what it is, and I stay centered and I stay grounded. And I'm really proud of how far I've come. You know, I know I'm not perfect. And that's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. The key to a perfect life and happiness is literally two things. One, growing every day, a growth mindset. You're not perfect, but the fact that you're imperfect is what makes you perfect, because you have the capabilities to grow and to change and to adapt and to become more of the ideal version of yourself. You can work on your charisma. You can work on your fitness. Like, guys, you're noticing a lot of repeating cycles. Take care of yourself. Work on yourself. The queen will come. The lady will come. It's just, it can't not happen. Like, if you're doing the work, it's just going to happen, guys. There's no reason for it to not happen. It's going to happen. Trust me, it is going to happen. And the last thing I want to actually talk about before I close out this podcast, as I said 5 minutes ago, I was going to close it out. But guys, you know what's really fascinating is the Harvard Men study on happiness discovered that the things that make you happy in the end of your life are just good quality relationships. And it didn't even say, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships, guys. It can be a best friend, buddy, family. The thing that matters most in the end of your life is the quality of your relationships and your friendships, guys. So if you haven't met the one yet, use that as an opportunity to work on your friendships. Have some good friends, some guy friends, some girlfriends. Sometimes your girlfriends will set you up with their girlfriends, and cultivate those relationships. Use this time that you have to work on your friendships and relationships, because it's not necessarily a relationship that makes you happy at the end of your life. It's just good quality relationships. That's what matters. That's what's important. It wasn't the amount of money you made. It wasn't how much you worked. It wasn't the things you did, experiences you had. It was the people you knew on this journey of life. That's something I thought was really cool. And honestly, since I learned that, I have been as part of my routine, I make more effort to go out and see my friends now or make new friends and hit people up. I deleted social media. So now I am more motivated than ever to actually call people and text people and reach out for actual real interpersonal interactions. And when you do that, you get oxytocin, the feel good hormone, the comfort hormone. So if you're out there and still haven't found your one, just another side note, even if you never found your one and you were single the rest of your life, you could still have a very happy life as long as you had good friendships and relationships, guys. So don't be a hermit. Don't be bitter. Live life, love life, work on yourself. My brothers, build the life you want to have. Be the person you want to be. Become what you want to attract in your life. And remember, don't get perturbed. Don't get frustrated, because it's just part of the journey. And the last thing I'm going to say, guys, smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the family if you're not already part of the family. I love you guys. I will see you on the next one. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way.